Welcome back to Ordo Mysticus. I'm Radel Soul and I'm grateful to share this space with you once again. Today we explore a question that lives at the heart of every initiatory tradition, whether spoken openly or transmitted quietly from teacher to student, from life to soul. How does this inner journey unfold, from apprentice to journeyman to master? These are not titles you earn, they are not roles you perform, they are inner states of development. They describe responsibility, awareness, and capacity, and most importantly, they describe how consciousness matures through lived experience. Every path begins with the apprentice. The apprentice is not ignorant. The apprentice is uninformed. This is the stage where you begin to turn inward with sincerity. You start noticing your reactions, your habits, your patterns. You become aware of the contradictions inside you. You see where you say one thing but live another, where you seek peace but feed conflict, where you long for clarity but avoid honesty. The primary task here is self-knowledge, not self-judgment, not self-improvement in the superficial sense, but genuine, courageous observation. The apprentice learns to say, quietly and sincerely, "I do not yet know, but I am willing to learn." This humility is strength. Without it, no real progress is possible. In this phase, you begin gathering your inner tools: attention, honesty, patience, commitment. You learn to sit with discomfort instead of escaping it. You start taking responsibility for your inner state rather than blaming circumstances or other people. This is where the foundation is laid. Then, gradually, something shifts. The journeyman phase begins when insight meets life. Here understanding must be applied. What you have learned internally now encounters real situations, real relationships, real pressures. This is where many people become discouraged, because theory is no longer enough. You test principles in everyday moments. You discover how easily you lose presence under stress. You see how quickly old habits return when you feel threatened or tired. You encounter resistance, setbacks, and mistakes. And this is not a sign of failure, it is the work. The stage is often the most demanding because the illusion of competence dissolves. You realize that knowing something intellectually does not mean you can live it consistently. Life begins asking for embodiment. The journeyman learns through experience, through falling and standing again, through misjudgments that refine discernment, through moments of clarity that alternate with confusion. Here you begin to recognize something essential. Knowledge without character is unstable. Insight without practice fades. Truth must become lived, and slowly through persistence something deeper starts to form. This leads us toward mastery. Mastery is widely misunderstood. It does not mean perfection, it does not mean superiority, and it certainly does not mean control over others. Mastery means inner coherence. It means alignment between what you know, how you live, and how you act. It means taking responsibility for your influence, whether that influence is large or small. A master does not dominate, a master serves order. Mastery is quiet. It does not announce itself. It does not seek recognition. It is recognizable through stability, clarity, and reliability. You feel it in someone's presence, in their capacity to remain calm under pressure, in their ability to respond rather than react. A master does not need to convince. Their being speaks. One of the most important insights on this path is understanding that development is never linear. There are advances and regressions, moments of clarity followed by periods of confusion, times of strength followed by vulnerability. These fluctuations are not mistakes. They are integrations. Each return to difficulty happens on a deeper level, each insight matures through repetition. The path unfolds in spirals, not straight lines. What once challenged you externally later appears internally. What you first learn conceptually later becomes embodied. The recycle refines you. Spiritual maturity reveals itself subtly. You may notice more calm under pressure, responsibility without rigidity, humility without self-denial, clarity without arrogance, and compassion without sentimentality. A mature person does not dramatize their growth. They simply become more trustworthy. Presence deepens, reactions soften, listening improves. And yet, no matter how far one walks, trials remain part of the journey. Every serious path includes trials, not as punishment, but as initiation. There may be moments when certainty dissolves, when fear rises, when ethical challenges appear, when responsibility exceeds comfort, and solitude becomes unavoidable, and when old identities fall away. These moments reveal not what we know, but who we are becoming. Avoided trials delay mastery, conscious trials accelerate it. They strip away illusions and clarify priorities. They teach you where you still cling, where you resist change, where you are invited to grow beyond your current limits. And through all of this, one principle becomes unavoidable. In Ordo Mysticus, it is fundamental. To be a master is to serve. Why? Because mastery brings influence, and influence demands responsibility. A master serves truth over opinion, order over chaos, life over ego. Service is not obligation, it is the natural expression of inner maturity. The more you understand, the more you are entrusted, not with power over others, but with responsibility for yourself and for the quality you bring into this world. Apprentice, journeyman, master. These stages live within every human being. At different times you may move between them. You may be an apprentice in one area of life and a journeyman in another. The goal is not to claim a stage, but to live each one honestly. To learn when you are learning, to apply when you are applying, to serve when you are ready to serve. In our next episode, we will explore the future vision of Ordo Mysticus and the path into the Golden Age. Until then, remember this. The apprentice learns, the journeyman applies, and the master serves. And the journey always continues. And if you feel called to walk this path more consciously, I warmly invite you to become a member of Ordo Mysticus. Dedicate yourself to your own spiritual development and to serving the evolution of humanity with clarity, responsibility, and presence. In love, light, and service. I'm Ray Del Sol, and I thank you for listening.